So my name is Omar Rabasad. It's 7:08 p.m., September 8th, 2019. So I'm just sitting here with this detector next to me, and it just went off at around 30. It's just sitting there. I just have it right next to me. It's not connected to anything, even though the USB cord is there. So I'll just take the USB cord off, and that's the reading. And it just went off in sync with a huge bang in the loading dock, which happens quite often, especially at night as I sleep late at night, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I just turned on the camera, and I got a huge pulse in my back when that bang occurred, and it registered up to about the lower limit was 30. I think it went up to about 50 that I caught it so fast sometimes. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you the temperature under my arm. 36.9. A few seconds ago, it was 37.6 on this side, but on the right side now it's 37.4. 37.4. 36.6. Just gonna try the other side again. 36.6. 37.1. 37. 37. So this is the right side of the body, and there's a burning sensation in my chest and my back. 36.7. So all the way back down again. Um, so my chest is being pulsed. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that the person underneath the unit who's banging is logged in. Maybe the shift changed, and the big bang is the start of it. And my chest is burning. Now, I tweeted about Epstein, some links that I got off the YouTube about Epstein. And there is this one woman um, who was talking about escaping and going to Australia, and she had babies, and she started to wonder about her kids' future. So, is it possible that these kids are are being or could be remotely accessed? Is it possible that there is knowledge out there that the rings are remote as well as physical? And maybe it's possible that some mothers are realizing that their kids are being remotely assaulted like the way that I am, and I'm documenting it. Is it possible? So I'm being scanned quite a bit. So maybe more than one person is logged on. So I noticed that this reading, um, when I'm sleeping, sometimes it goes down to zero, right down to zero. So it ranges from 0.0001 to maybe 1 when there's absolutely nobody logged in. And then as people log in, it can go up to more than 2,000. So from my preliminary research, I've noticed that from 0 to 5, oh, I'm sorry, from 0 to 1, there is nobody logged in. From 1 to about 5, somebody's logged in at a very low level power. So 5 to about 10, another person is logged in. 10 to about 20, another person is logged in. 20 to about 40, somebody else is logged in. So 40 to 50, 50 to 60, it seems to go up in the increments of 10 to 15 points in these readings as more and more people are logging in and the power is turned up. So I could have 5 or 6 people logged in. So multiply 5 to 6, 5 or 6, let's say 5, by 20. So it's roughly 100 points. And if they turned up the power, you'd have readings between 100 and 200. So I posted some data that I downloaded from this detector and into an Excel spreadsheet, and I posted it on YouTube. Because I'm databasing this on a daily basis, these readings. So if somebody were to take a look, if a viewer were to take a look at that, you'd see a lot of readings under 100 and a lot of readings between 100 and 200. Most of the readings are between 10 to 100, 60s, 70s range, which seem to indicate from from the range of those readings that it's under 100. Maybe about 2 or 3 people are logged on at any given time. And it's almost always including the person in the loading dock. So maybe the person in the loading dock plus 2 neighbors at any given time. If there is more than 3 people, then it goes up to over 1,000 because each person increases the power and it takes a certain amount of power to log on. Because once you're logged on, then I'm not quite sure how it's set up. I'm not too knowledgeable about the technicality of the setup itself, how it's routed, where the transmitters are located. From what I'm seeing here, right in this location, there is a transmitter somewhere around this location, right here, above or below me. So it seemed to, the readings seem to relate to the distance of the transmitter and how many transmitters are being used. As I said, you don't need to be chipped for this to happen, but a chip really does make it a whole lot easier to track. And I also demonstrated the effect. I just demonstrated the effect of the body temperature. I demonstrated the effect of pain that's reflected in the blood pressure readings. I have demonstrated the effect on the heart rate and the operating of the heart itself, the electrical currents in the heart. It interrupts, when the power is turned up, it interrupts the electrical currents in the heart, causing heart palpitations and arrhythmia that could lead to heart attacks and heart failure. because when the electrical currents are interrupted, you get heart failure. The ventricle and the atrium of the heart do not contract the way it should, and in the time, there is a certain time interval in which these contractions take place. And if it misses the time, then it doesn't contract. At least that's the way I understand it. I could be wrong. So talk to you another time.